Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beauty with a Twist. I'm super excited for this week's episode because we have a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Monique and my business name is also just my regular name, which I also wonder like how you're going to introduce me because you're like, what is your business name? So I don't really have one, I guess, but legally it's Monique and I'm a body waxer. I specialize specifically in vulva waxing, intimate waxing. I also offer brows and lash lifts, but I would say my niche is definitely creating educational, silly content regarding Brazilian waxing.
And the best content. What the fuck? That's like,
thank you.
Literally what caught my eye from your page
Yeah.
was your content. And I was showing my manager before you got here. I was like, you need to check out her content to see what, like, she's about to judge us on our cameras, y'all.
No. I was actually just telling them earlier, I don't even know about cameras like that. And I literally just bought mine based off of some guy's video I saw on TikTok that was incredible and very cinematic. So I was like, that's the camera I'm going to get. And I was reading the comments and they were like, it's good for video and camera.
Did you learn how to do it all yourself?
Yeah, literally. I did so the guy that sold me the camera at Best Buy, I asked him, I was like, do you guys offer classes or anything like that? And he's like, no, but I'm actually a photographer, videographer, so I can come and like teach you. So I was like, cool. So I paid him like, I think it was like $150. It was very affordable. So he came for like 2 hours and just taught me the basics. And then from there, I just kind of taught myself YouTube videos.
So you got lucky because the guy that you were just talking to.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just happened to ask.
Yeah.
But it definitely is a learning curve for sure. I'm not an expert on it at all. Like there's so much I need to learn. But everything, like all my editing, I do on CapCut. So like the captions, the simple edits, transitions, all that stuff is all on CapCut.
That's what I use. And I like the pre-made templates. Like shout out to CapCut.
Yeah.
It's so easy. Just boom, boom.
Yeah, it's so user-friendly.
Yeah.
And it's a learning curve too, but the more you use it, the better you get at it. And it just becomes pretty easy to use. And then if I'm unsure about something, I literally just go on YouTube and there's almost always a tutorial on how to do that.
Fucking Google. Y'all.
Yeah, Google.
Literally.
Or ChatGPT.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God.
If you don't use ChatGPT, you're truly missing out.
That saved me from school.
No, it saves lives, like actually.
So tell me how you started. Tell me like your whole waxing journey.
Mm-hmm.
Did you start making content? Like tell me everything.
Okay, so I originally started off. Okay, backtrack. So after high school, I went to CSUN, and while I was in CSUN, I wanted to be an elementary teacher, or so I thought. But I was only 17 years old, so how are you going to know what you want to do for the rest of your life at that young?
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Let me just pick something. I like kids. It seems like a good, career to get into.
Uh-huh.
And then second to last year of school, I was like, you know what? I'm not really feeling passionate about this. I don't really want to do this for the rest of my life. And at the time I was getting really into fitness. So I decided to get my personal training certification and I started personal training while I was still in college. And then I did that for 4 years and I was already so close to being done with school. I had a couple semesters left, a couple classes. So I was like, let me just finish, get it out of the way and do personal training in the meantime. So after I finished CSUN, I did personal training full time for 4 years, or 3.5, 4 years. And that's where I got all my clientele. I was working as a personal trainer full time. And while I was personal training, I was like, I don't really know if I want to do this the rest of my life. So then again, I kind of went back to the drawing board and I was like, okay, what am I going to do 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line? But you were working
under somebody?
No, by myself.
Oh, fully by yourself?
Fully. So I was marketing myself on social media, just how I am now, getting my own clients. And then I rented out a space at a small gym. And that's how I, had my little business going for myself. So I lost my train of thought.
Wait.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. So I was like, what am I going to do with my life in 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Yeah. I just didn't see myself in the fitness space anymore, pretty much. And then there was a lady who actually owned a lash bar in that same studio as that private gym. And she would get trained by another trainer at the gym. So she was like, Monique, why don't you come lash for me? You can make a lot of money in the beauty industry. And then you could just do personal training part-time. And I was like, you know what? I've already been thinking about doing something else. And I definitely did not want to go to university and, spend more money, get into student loan debt and do all that, especially if I wasn't sure with what I was going to do. And at the time, I could afford putting myself in esthetician school and supporting myself through my personal training job.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what do I have to lose? I could see myself in the beauty industry. I definitely know I could learn a new skill. And it's 6 months full time. And I was like, it's a perfect opportunity. And I totally think I could just go for it. So it was a very impulsive decision.
But also, do I really want to do this? Am I going to like it? Yeah.
Had no idea what the beauty industry was even like. I never even thought about going to a trade school, never even thought about being in the beauty industry ever. I never even thought about it at all. And then I was like, it just seems like the perfect opportunity. I can afford it. What do I have to lose? It sounds fun. And then at the time, one of my personal training clients, Bree, she was doing lashes, but she also needed to get licensed. And I told her about like my little plan. And she was like, oh my God, I really want to go to school too. So we decided to enroll together. And it was pretty much because the lady told me, like, if you work for me, you have to get licensed. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then I'll try lashing. And then while I was in school, I realized I kind of liked a little bit of everything. I liked doing lashes. I liked doing facials. I liked the waxing portion. I wasn't really like married to one thing. And when I was close to finishing, I felt like I didn't really want to only do lashes, but that was the only thing that I was kind of good at and what I practiced. So I kind of felt like, okay, let me just stick to the lashes, see how it goes. And I just didn't like it. I just didn't like sitting down for that long. I feel like it takes a lot of patience, and I have like a lot of respect for lash artists and what they do. But after giving it a good shot for a year, it just wasn't for me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try getting into waxing. So I've never been the type to be opposed to Brazilian waxing. It's never turned me off in any way. It just really didn't bother me whatsoever. So I was like, you know what? I know Brazilian waxing is a really popular service, and I could see myself doing that. So I was interested in getting hired at European Wax Center because I didn't get any Brazilian wax training in school. And, you know, getting into it, I was like, I need to get some practice. And at the time, I just didn't really know. I know it sounds so silly, but I didn't really know there was solo Brazilian wax specialists who had Brazilian waxing courses. I just was a baby esthetician without any knowledge about the industry. So I figured going to European Wax Center was a good idea. And this was during the pandemic in 2020. So I got hired at European Wax Center, but things were still closed. And the person that hired me was like, we don't know when we're going to open yet, but come in and we can train you. And then once we open up, like, you could start working again.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, that's perfect. And at the time, I already rented out a studio with Bree. And we were just like lashing out of there together. So I was like, okay, cool. Like,
you have a spa.
Yeah, I have a spa. Let me just also like get this money funneling in from European Wax Center once I start working. Because I also didn't have a steady clientele. I literally went from personal training to beauty industry. So I had like 0 beauty clients.
But did you have the same Instagram? Like, you kind of just transitioned?
I just literally transitioned it. Yeah, it was the same Instagram. So if you scroll down my Instagram, it's like all my
I'm
fitness
about to
videos.
stalk the fuck out of her after this. She leaves.
You literally should. And then, so I got hired there and I did the 2-day training and it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I feel like the training was going to be a little bit more extensive, but it just wasn't what I thought. And whenever like the second day of training wrapped up and came to an end, they were pretty much just kind of like ready to just throw you in there. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it was like a 2 or 3 day training, but we did have, I think it was a 2-day training. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I honestly kind of forgot, but it just wasn't extensive. And I thought I would be able to get a little bit more practice in. And I think like I don't even know if this is correct, honestly, because I really don't remember, but I think they let you bring in people a couple more times, like your first week or something.
And then you practice on the people that you know first.
I think. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they just throw you in there. So I don't want to say anything wrong, but I'm pretty sure you could still get practice in, but I just didn't think it was extensive to just like have people come in and just practice with the knowledge that I got. And in my head, I was like, okay, well, I already have my own space. I don't feel like I really got that much out of this. And if I'm going to practice here on people with this knowledge, why not just do it myself? So I literally just left and told them I didn't want to continue. And that wasn't my plan. I just really, like, my plan was to stay there for a couple of years, get some really good practice and knowledge. And because everyone says if you want to be a really good waxer, you should get hired at European Wax Center because you do get a lot of volume, you get a lot of clients. It's a great experience. And a lot of people who work there say it was really good experience. Was it the best for them? Like, emotionally, probably not, but it is good, like, practice, I would say.
So it's speeding too.
Yes.
Because it's like this, right? You have like, what, 25 clients a day sometimes.
Yeah. So that definitely wasn't my intention to just leave, but it just didn't make sense for me to stay there. And then from then on, I just was so adamant about getting as good as possible, as quick as possible. So in the beginning, again, I went from personal training to the beauty industry. People didn't really trust me. It was probably random for a lot of people who were following me to be like, oh, she's literally a waxing coochie now. So
she went to Lifton.
I went to Lifton to waxing
making
coochie.
my ass real nice to waxing coochie.
And I'm sure that was confusing to a lot of people because they're like, well, she looks like she's successful in personal training. Like, I wonder why she switched. But anyway, so I was offering free Brazilians at first because who doesn't love a free service?
Yeah.
And I wanted to get good really fast. And I knew people would come in if I was offering free Brazilians, and it would take that pressure off of me of, okay, I need to finish quickly. I need to give them a good service because it's free. I'm just practicing. So I would be very upfront with people like, hey, I haven't waxed that much before. I'm still practicing. It's going to take probably this much time. So be patient with me. And, you know, the more people I got in, I would get content out of it. And then eventually I started charging people like $20, $40. So as I got better, more confident, I started charging people. And then now I charge $70 for each Brazilian. And that's pretty much how I started.
Dang.
Yeah.
So did you like, when you were going through that time and you took free people, did they refer other people?
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
kind of how you grew your books and stuff?
Definitely. But also I think I was always good about content since the beginning because of my personal training career. A lot of people I definitely feel like when you already have some kind of background in business, or it could be something completely different, you can definitely transfer all that knowledge and expertise and experience to whatever it is that you're doing new, even if it's completely different. And even though it's two completely different career paths, I was able to transfer everything I learned with my personal training stuff to my beauty stuff. And it was very seamless and easy in that aspect. Just getting new clients was difficult because it's hard for people to see me as their trainer and then them to be like, oh, here's my coochie. Like, let me just have you wax me, you know?
Yeah.
And at that point, a lot of people already have their beauty professionals. Maybe they get lasered. Maybe they get waxed. Like, they just don't see me like that. So I kind of had to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And that, to answer your question, it was definitely like just getting people in by free services at first because I was desperate to get clients and I had a space with no clients. Like, I had to pay rent. So I wanted to get good as quickly as possible, get clients as quickly as possible. So in order to do that, I felt like I had to get free clients. And then from there, I kind of like worked my way up and definitely posted on social media. Like, anything and everything that I could think of to post on social media, I did. Even if it was as simple as stirring my wax pot and being
just
like something. Literally, everything's content.
Yeah. And did you like, because a lot of people go scared to go solo right away. So especially because you just went solo right away. You were with Bree, right? Are you still with Bree?
Yeah, I'm still with Bree, yeah.
Yeah, so you went solo right away. And I feel like people are intimidated. So like, how am I going to get clients? But I think that's some good advice, right? Go free, get as much people in. But how do you tell them later on, like, okay, now it's free, but now you have to pay for the next one? Like, Well,
that to me, I don't even feel like that was really a problem. I didn't really like think about it. It just kind of happened. And I think people understood because they're like, okay, you're getting busier. Like, you're obviously really good, quicker.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it too was like people would come in for a free service, but once I started charging, maybe they wouldn't come in as often, but they would still refer people and then they would come like down the line. So I don't think I think people know like common sense, you know, you're not going to do free work forever. And I know it's like not realistic for a lot of people because you still have to pay for your materials and all that. So I know like financially it may not be an option for most, but it's worth it, even if it's just like a week of taking free clients and you can get so much content out of that. And I think people forget that, you know, it's not a forever thing and you kind of have to sacrifice in the beginning to get to where you want to be for your future.
Yeah. And did you grow your Instagram? Like, because I feel like educational posts is like so in right now. So did that help you grow your Instagram, or kind of like, you know, because when I first started waxing, I feel like my before and afters always hit. But then when I did educational posts, it was like, boom, like that shit just blew up because people want to learn. Even if they're not in this field, clients like to know certain things about waxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I definitely do think the educational stuff catapulted me into a different direction. It obviously gives you more credibility. People obviously see you as, not take you more seriously, but they are like, okay, wow, even though she does wax vulvas for a living and people may think it's not a real job or it's like funny. And I do make funny educational content because it's relatable and it's really fun for me. But I think when people see that you have an educational based social media, it could show people that you're really passionate about your job, that you know what you're talking about, and that you're just inspired by what you do. So that definitely helps with attracting people that want to get waxed and also people that are in the industry as well.
Yeah. And you know what I like about your videos too? Like, you add lifestyle videos. Like, you just got a lash lift by my girl.
Love that Ash.
Yes. And I'm like, I just love how you just put that into your content. You add that with all your other, because it just shows what you do outside of work too.
Yeah. I think that's important, definitely, because I think that people want to kind of see the person behind the brand. I think that's why it's important for me to like show my face on camera and just talk on camera. And I kind of want to be a little better about showing more of the lifestyle, you know, things that I like to do behind work as well, like my fitness stuff. Because even though I don't personal train anymore, I am heavily still in the gym. I don't work out 7 days a week. I only work out and lift like 3-4 times out of the week. But I do have definitely a more fitness centered, like healthy lifestyle, all that stuff. So that's like really important to me. And I think people love to see the person behind the brand.
They do.
Yeah.
Because when I show myself and I show my baby, I'm like, dude, how the fuck am my stories getting this much?
Yeah.
And then like when I post something else, like I seen a post, it was so relatable. It was something like I posted something and it got like this many likes, but I posted myself and it got hundreds of likes. And it's just like, it really goes back into like, people want to relate to the person and I get so many much more responses of like myself than something else that I'm posting about work, which is so weird, you know?
Yeah. But it makes sense because think of it this way. Like if you just see a before and after or any of that, it kind of gets boring after a while. You already know what to expect. And don't get me wrong, those are great because people get to see your work. And that's literally how I found my esthetician, Skintegrity LA, because of her before and afters. And I felt like she could change my life. And she literally did.
Yeah.
So they are very important for sure. But at the same time, I do think people they like you for you and they're just curious. Like, I wonder what this girl's life looks like outside of her esthetician business. Because if you look at someone's business Instagram for face value, it seems like that's their entire life. And I think people truly think that's my entire life, that that's all I do. But there's like a whole other side that people don't see, you know? So
do you now, like, do you still take on full-time clients? Like, how's your clientele now from when it was? Like, and then from there, like, how do you have time to make your fucking content? First of all, like, I see her post the best content. I'm like, I'm over here struggling, you know? I'm like, I have 10 clients a day and then I go home and the last thing I want to do is fucking post this video.
Definitely, yeah.
You know?
So I do have my routine, but I will say too, like, I don't have any kids. And I think when you do have kids, it's completely different.
Yes.
But if you're solo and you don't have kids or you aren't a caregiver to anybody, I feel like there's no excuse because your entire life is content. You know what I mean? And you're already working. So it takes 2 seconds to literally put a camera up. Of course, some things take more time and editing is what takes the most time. It's not really filming the content. Filming the content's so easy, but it's the editing, I think, that takes the most time. And I think more often than not, we're overthinking the content that we want to post. And that's where people kind of get stuck because it just gets so overwhelming and you're thinking about everything at once that you just end up not doing it at all.
Yeah.
So number one, don't overcomplicate it. But to answer your question is I started taking time off for it now. So before I used to work 6 days a week, which is kind of insane because how am I going to have time for myself to just keep my space clean and like do a deep clean, to do all the behind the scenes, to make time for, just myself, my life, my friends. And then also work and make content. So I decided to take more time off for that. So I take a day to film. And then usually in the morning I have time because I start my work from like 11 a.m. to 6. So I have a couple hours to either edit my content. Yeah. And then like super early in the mornings, I like to work out. So I'm a morning person. Like I wake up pretty early, sleep really early. But I think I'm just productive a lot of the time. Like I don't really have downtime, to be honest.
Because you're like here, you're like there. It's such a fast... You're just like,
it is.
I'm busy all day. Like, I'm doing this and doing this. And
I actually am, though. Yeah.
Me too. I'm like, how the fuck do I do it? I don't know how I do it, but I got to be here, got to be here, got to be here. And I'm like, I do it. You know?
And I think it's because you have a certain standard that you set for yourself. And I think you have a certain view of what you want your future to look like. And I think when you know you want something out of life, you know what it is that you have to do every day to get there. And I think that's why we're like that.
Yeah. And you know, that's such good advice because I really feel like a lot of people try to say, well, how did that person get to where they are? It's because I fucking worked that hard to get to where I'm at. I really do. Even though I say I really am busy. Like I'm striving to be better. I'm striving because I know the type of life that I want, the type of life that I strive for. You know what I mean? So I can completely fucking relate to that. Because especially now I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I do it, girl, but I do it.
Yeah, you do it. I think you just don't even think about it. You just do it. And I think that's how I do it as well. I don't really think about how much I have to do or what fills my day. I just know I have a routine. I wake up, I go to the gym, I do my meditation or I do my self-care stuff. Then I'll work a little bit on content. clean up my space before clients come, just do all that. But it's always like back-to-back stuff.
Yeah.
And I think in order to be able to do everything at the capacity that I do it is to just, I don't want to say work nonstop, but when you do have a business, it really never stops.
Just have an agenda for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm not going to neglect myself either. So it's important for me to give time to myself, but that also requires discipline,
Yeah. So how many clients typically do you take a day from that?
Oh yeah, I didn't even answer that question.
No.
So I went off on a tangent. So typically in a day, I have 30-minute appointments.
That's what I was going to ask. Are we a speedy wax? Are we a 30-minute? Are we a 15-minute?
I could wax someone in 10 to 20 minutes. Average, I would say like 15 to 20 minutes. But I can do 10-minute waxes depending on if my clients are regular, if they follow their aftercare. So I can be a speed waxer, but I can also take my time. But regardless, I book out 2 clients per hour. So each client has 30 minutes. And that's just to give me time to clean, to prep. Sometimes clients run late. And I'm already so go every second of every day that I like to at least give myself time for clients. Because if that part of my life is frazzled, it's just a cascading effect of me feeling frazzled the rest of the day. And it's just, I feel like being that go with clients is just not good for my nervous system and my mental health. Yes. Yeah, it's just not good.
Yeah, I before would take like 20 Brazilians a day. Mm-hmm. This was like back when maybe like 2 years after I started. And I was so exhausted mentally, physically. And I know a lot of people that do it. And shout out to them. Like they're speedy waxers. And that's great. And I love that for them. And I remember those times I used to do it. And I was just so exhausted. And now I do 30 minutes. So 2 clients an hour. And I just know that time I could spend a little bit more time with my client. And not only just that, but it gives me time, maybe like an extra 5 minutes to just breathe.
Yeah, exactly.
And get ready for the next personality that I'm about to meet. Because every personality is different. And I feel like, no, I don't change my personality, but you kind of have to in a way. Like, this person can be interested in this, and then another person can be interested in the way opposite. Yeah. So you're definitely dealing with different personalities.
I agree. And I don't know if this is a controversial take, but I think in order to be a successful business owner, you kind of have to be a chameleon, not to say you have to change your personality, or change your viewpoints or your opinions, but you kind of do have to be careful about what you can and can't say with some clients and how to treat certain people.
Yes.
There's some clients who are going to want you to treat them like their friend. And there's some clients who are going to want just a point A to point B service. There's some clients who don't even want you to talk to them. So I think you have to adapt to each of your clients, especially if you're a service provider in the beauty industry,
Yeah. And I feel like there's times where, I had to be a certain way. And it's like in my head, I'm like, fuck, I'm not really this way. But it's like, I don't want this person to feel uncomfortable if I'm
people are if their legs are splayed open. Yes, I'm not going to make them feel uncomfortable. Exactly. That's crazy.
And I just don't want it to, and this is so fucking controversial. I'm like, your guys are fake, then you guys are not showing them your real. No, it's because some people just don't.
And it's business. Like, you're not my family or friend where I could say whatever and be myself 100% of the time. Like, I'm here to give you a quality service and make you feel comfortable because you're paying me. So I think if someone's paying me, I'm going to make sure I make them feel comfortable. Yeah. That's like my number one priority. Exactly. No matter what my opinion is.
Exactly. And also too, what I really feel like helped me gain the clientele that I have now, especially like the amount of regulars that I do have, I feel like what helped me was I can relate to a lot of things and I know about a lot of things. It's weird. Like, you can talk to me about the most random thing, but I'll know one fact about that random thing.
Yeah, of course, because you meet so many people.
Yeah, and I'm like, that helped me a lot. Even though I'm not into it, I'll know one thing about it, and that one topic we'll talk about throughout the whole service, and they'll teach me more and more about it, and it's just, they think, oh my gosh, she's fucking actually really cool. Like, and then that conversation right there just helped me refer someone else.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree with you. But to go back also to what you were saying about 20 clients a day, I did that in the beginning too. And I think a lot of estheticians do that because in the beginning, you want to build your clientele. You have kind of this mentality of like, you're scared that maybe you won't have clientele one day. So you want to take as many people as possible. And you're usually praying for the day where you have that amount of clients. So you just want to work as much as possible, make as much as possible. So in the beginning, I was working sometimes 12-hour days and taking like 20, 25 plus clients. And I was like mentally exhausted. But I think because I did that in the beginning, I could now, obviously lessen my hours, but still have my books fully filled because I'm just kind of spreading myself not so thin anymore, and I have a more steady clientele, and it's just better for my mental health. But I do think it's important to hustle in the beginning.
Yeah.
For sure.
And when you were doing those, like, how tired were you? Like, really? Like, fucking exhausted, right?
Exhausted, yeah. Definitely mentally exhausted. I feel your health, obviously, you feel it, in your body, in your skin, in your
weight,
ability to sleep. Your cravings. Yeah.
Yes. I would eat I wouldn't care because I was like, fuck it, let me just shove it down my throat. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The 2 minutes that I have, let me eat something. Doesn't matter what it is,
And then I don't know if you could resonate, but I also started resenting myself because I would be getting annoyed that I was kind of doing that to myself and then not giving myself time to maybe go to the gym and maybe not getting some extra TLC that I wanted to give myself. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself? But I feel like I couldn't stop. It was so weird. I had this mentality where I was like, no, I'm going to like lose my business. I'm going to not make any more money. Like I have to grind 24/7. But now I learned that you need to definitely have time for both if you want to be successful for the long term, for longevity.
Yeah. And, I do see, and like I said, I know there's a lot of waxers that are speedy waxers, and a lot of my friends are speedy waxers, and I see them. But I just, like, going back, like, I just feel like I personally did it, been there, done that, and I'm not there no more. And I feel like now my clientele and, like, the way my books are formed, I feel so much more just, like, content, and I'm chilled, and I'm like, I know that I'm going to work, like, oh, I don't have this client and this client and this client and this client. Like, I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? And then it helps me so much. And then, you know what? I didn't have an assistant back then, and I fucking died because then I remembered I had to go back, push my wax strips down because the trash was getting overflown, and have like not even a minute to clean because then I had another one come in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So I was just driving myself fucking crazy.
I think also it's personality too. I think some people strive off of go, having as many clients, and I think they're really good at that. But I think you just have to take your own personality, your own capacity, your own mental health into consideration to see what works better for you,
Yeah. I didn't even ask you. What's your zodiac sign?
Libra, October 15th.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tell me. This is a sign. Oh my God, Marla, this is a fucking sign. My son's due date was October 15th.
Aww.
And he's a Libra. He was born October 4th.
Amazing. There's a lot of October babies in my family. And my fiance's family. Yeah, my mom's October 9. My grandma was October 18. His mom's October 18. His dad was October 14.
So how busy is your October?
Pretty busy. Yeah.
So is your favorite holiday like Halloween?
I would say it's more Christmas and New Year's just because I love the Christmas vibe.
Yeah.
But I love the month of October in general. I love fall, so.
And there's so much to do, huh?
Exactly.
Like, I feel like October goes by so fast because I'm like, this weekend I'm going to Universal. This weekend I'm having a Halloween party. This weekend I'm doing this. And I'm like, where the fuck did October go?
It's such a nice month.
I love that month.
I love it.
And I'm so glad my son was born in October because I've always wanted to throw a Halloween party.
Amazing. It's perfect.
And I'm like, now I can fucking do it every year.
Yes. That's actually really cute.
It gives me
an excuse. Yeah. What's your sign?
I'm a Cancer.
My brother's a Cancer.
Do you guys?
I love Cancers.
Are you guys good?
Yes. I don't know if I'm just generalizing because I'm totally just projecting off my own zodiac sign and personality. But I feel like Libras have a great ability to get along with a lot of people. And not to say that I'm going to be best friends with everybody or be even friends with that person. But we have an ability to just be neutral and not let differing opinions make us have animosity towards that person.
Like, you don't, like, for example, like if a person feels a type of way for this person, you're not going to take their word because you don't know that person.
Yes, but also what I'm trying to say is if you have an opinion that I don't agree with, I'm not going to hate you for it.
Oh,
you know?
Okay.
Like, I'm just, okay, cool. You know,
like, give a fuck.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm just very neutral. Yeah.
And I love that. And I hope my son is like that.
Yeah.
Because I've heard a lot of shit about Libras.
I don't know if Libras are like that. I'm like that. But
I've always heard that, oh my God, no, your son is a Libra. Like, good luck. And I'm like, dude, what the hell?
But
why?
we're always just projecting our own experiences.
Yeah.
You know, like.
That's why everyone hates fucking zodiac signs too. Because then they're like, oh, here it goes. Like, Marlo, my manager, hates it. It. Every time we talk about it, he's like, ugh.
Yeah, my fiance doesn't think it exists. He's like, what?
He too. He's like, what the hell? Like, it's all the same shit. Like, everyone thinks this and everyone thinks that. But if you really look into it, it really does Okay, it really does matter.
So I agree, like
to a certain extent.
Yes, to a certain extent. Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm like, I feel like for me, everyone projects I'm a crybaby because Cancer is water signs with crybabies, whatever. I'm not a crybaby at all.
My moon is in Cancer. I'm a crybaby.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm because Gemini, maybe that's why. But I feel like for me, I'm more emotional when it comes, like, I don't cry in front of a person. It takes a lot for me to cry. And I feel like any Cancer,
do you hold your emotions in? Like, you feel a lot, you just don't express it.
Yes. It's really hard for me to express, like, hey, Monique, I feel this way, but I cannot tell you that. But I'm saying this in my head. You know, I just can't express myself. And
are you non-confrontational, or do you not express yourself? Like, is that two the same?
No, that's not the same. Because if there's a confrontation, like, you know.
But it's more like you're expressing your own emotions.
Yeah, like to my boyfriend, I'm like, if he does something wrong, I'm like, I don't want to tell him like he did something wrong, but he fucking did something wrong, because I don't want to start an argument, and I don't want to cry to him or cry in the restroom that I'm you know what I mean.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But anyways, going back,
yes,
we got distracted with the fucking every time I know someone's sad, I'm just like, hold on, I got distracted. But anyways, so tell me about like sales, because I feel like this is a big one. Do you give out any like specials? Like, do you have a special a month? Do you like ever lower your pricing at all?
I definitely do. So on Wednesdays, I have Wax Wednesday, where I offer $10 off Brazilians. And I know a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but some people in the beauty industry have this opinion that if you have a discount or you offer promotions, that people are going to see you as less than or devalue your service. And I personally don't really agree with that. The reason why I personally offer a discount is because I do have a lot of loyal clients who come to me not only on Wednesdays, but I feel like Wednesdays are always filled up with regulars. And I think they really appreciate the $10 off. And I feel like it's just a nice gesture to give back to my clients who give so much to me.
Yeah.
And I know people may think like, well, you're not making as much money or whatever, this, that, and the other. But to me, I feel like everything always comes back to me, and my clients tip me really well as well. And I think it's just a nice gesture to give to clients who that $10 might be a lot to them, you know, and maybe be the difference for them to be able to come and get that service that month.
Why do you think it's such a controversial thing for a person to
like if someone offers a discount, I don't devalue their service. So I don't really know why people might think that. For example, like if my esthetician offered a Black Friday discount on her facials, or offered a discount or a bundle of get 4 microneedles and you get this much money off, I definitely wouldn't devalue their service. I feel like their service is still great quality and they're still that same person. So I don't know. I'm not sure why people.
I know. I see that all the time. Like, oh, don't ever lower your pricing because it's going to lower the value of yourself and then and that. But I agree, because I do specials every month. I've been doing it since I started, and I feel like my clients wait for it. And it's like, even if they wait for it, the tip, and I know that I love my clients, they tip so well, the tip just compares to them paying full price. And it's like, for them, it's not an issue. It's just, I know for them, they're like, what's special this month, or what are you going to do this month? They kind of like look forward to it.
Exactly. And I don't offer the discount because I know people are going to tip me and make up for the difference, because some people don't tip, and I'm also okay with that as well. I don't ever expect tip. But I think another argument too is that people are always going to look for your discount. But that's not true, because if you're good at what you do and you offer a good service, people are going to keep you booked and busy. And I am booked and busy, and people still book me on all the other days that I don't do discounts. And I just think it's, like you said, something that clients could really look forward to.
Yeah. Do you just do majority Brazilians, or you kind of do full body?
I would say majority is definitely Brazilians, but I do a lot of underarm waxing. I do like a good amount of brows. I do butt waxes, upper lip waxes.
Manzillions.
I don't do manzillions, no.
Did you ever think about doing manzillions?
No.
Your fiance's over there like,
she better not freaking.
She better say, hell no.
No, so I never thought about it.
Why?
I think I'm not good with confrontation. At the end of the day, if I really needed to confront something about, or confront someone about something, I definitely would. But I just never want to be put in a vulnerable situation where I know a man can easily take advantage of me, because I'm literally 4'11" and a half.
She's tiny, you guys. She's like the most. I like seen her. I was like, oh my gosh, like I just want to cuddle with her.
Yeah, literally. And
love her.
Realistically, I just don't want to be put in a situation where I feel uncomfortable in that way. And it's usually just me and Brie in our room. There's nobody else. So, and me and Brie don't work together all the time. And I don't know. It's kind of a scary situation. Not to say that there aren't men out there who are amazing, loyal, good paying customers and truly just want to get a service and that's it. But I just don't want to really gamble with that.
Yeah, and it's so true. Because I did it for a long time and I still do it to my regulars, but I stopped.
Because I bet you had horror stories.
It was the worst time of my life. And this happened when I was pregnant. I'm not going to talk about it again because I already talked about it enough.
Yeah.
But it was the worst day of my life.
I wasn't even going to ask you because I know those situations could just be very traumatic that you don't want to think about it or replay it in your head.
And it was just disgusting. And I'm like, you know what? I told my man about it.
I'm done.
Yeah. He was like, no, I want you to stop. And I was like, okay, that's that already. I'm going to stop because I'm going to respect my partner. But I can understand where you're really coming from because I'm not doing it anymore.
It's just unfortunate because there are a lot of men that do want a service, but unfortunately there's a select few that will ruin it for a lot of people.
Yeah. What about discounts? Like, have you ever had a client ask you for a discount?
Never, actually.
Really?
I've never had a client ask me for a discount. Yeah. That's kind of surprising, right?
Yeah,
now that I thought
is.
about it. Yeah, never.
No?
But yeah, never. But don't you think it would be kind of weird to ask for a discount for a Brazilian? Maybe that's why. Because it's a more intimate service. And I think most people would be like, okay, this person just waxed my ass. Like, I'm not going to ask her for $10 off or whatever. To me, I don't know.
No, but it's because I've been in a situation where it was like, yes, like, or what, do you have a discount for a wax today? Or like maybe something cash?
No, never.
No,
never. I think if someone were to ask me, I would just say I don't offer discounts, but I do have my Wax Wednesday where I offer $10 off Brazilians. But I haven't had anyone ask me for a discount. No, never.
My God, well, I got stuck with that.
Maybe it's my booking payment option. So I ask for a half the deposit when they book and then half later. And I think that could financially help people out a lot too, because it's kind of like Afterpay where you're paying, who knows, maybe a month when you booked and then a month later you just pay $35 again. So maybe people feel like, okay, this is more reasonable. I don't know if it's like a...
Do your regulars do that too every time?
Yeah, every time.
Oh. So
well, if people are pre-booking with me and I know they've been a regular for a long time, I'll book the appointment for them sometimes and just not have them pay for a deposit because all my clients respect my time and they always let me know ahead of time if they need to cancel or reschedule. And I know my loyal clients are going to come back. So
yeah, because I'm like, I stopped taking deposits because I just got too many of them. I lost count of like who paid what, and I didn't know how to.
But it's through my booking app Vagaro, so it does everything for me. I highly recommend Vagaro. I love it.
I have Booksy. I like Booksy.
Yeah, I feel like they're all kind of like good, you know.
Yeah, but I've always wanted to try that because my best friend tries that one. She's always like, "Yeah, come over to the side." I'm like, maybe I should, but then changing a whole booking system, it's just a hassle.
True. Yeah.
And
I'm
I'm
sure
like,
you can have someone like help you with it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my third time trying. Like I went from Gloss Genius to Square to now Booksy.
What do you not like about Booksy? Maybe I can let you know what like Vagaro has.
I think from what I don't like about Booksy is that we don't get our payments right away. If they do card, we get it like 5 days later. So let's say you pay for a service today, you're not going to get that. Usually Gloss Genius gives it to me the next day. This one gives it to me in 5 days.
I see. Okay, yeah, it's kind of a long time. With Vagaro, how does Vagaro do it? So you get your... How do I not know this? Why am I blanking out? What the heck?
Wait, because we're trying to sponsor. It's not sponsored by Vagaro, okay?
No,
but
not
sponsored.
Definitely doesn't take 5 days. I think it's the day after.
Is it a day after?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and then I'm pretty sure it's the day. I honestly am blanking out. I really don't know how I don't know this, but I'm pretty sure it's the day after, and then they don't do deposits or whatever on Saturday, Sunday. So you get it Monday. Yeah, they just recently changed it because before it used to be Tuesday. And then I got an email from my account. They're going to start depositing it Monday. Yeah. So it's pretty like a quick turnover.
And how do you feel about like having like someone barely starting, they have a booking system? Like, do you feel like someone just should do DMs, like message me or DM me for a appointment, or should they go straight into a business website or like?
Well, I think there's some people who thrive off DMs because they like to have more control of their booking system. But I feel like those are the people who have actually never tried a booking system. For me, it was getting way too chaotic, going back and forth with clients. It was just a little bit time consuming. Sometimes more mistakes happen that way. So I personally think it's more organized to be on a booking system because it tracks all your reports for you, how much you make, how many clients you have. You're able to just see things in a more organized way. All your potential prospecting clients can see all the services you have, the time slots you have available. They book themselves. All the deposits are through there. They fill out their forms. So all those things are very super important, I feel like, to run a successful business. So I think it's important for every beauty professional to have a booking system. But in the beginning, when you don't have that many clients, I can totally see why people may like to just book through DM.
Yeah, and especially because, when you do a booking system and you do your taxes and stuff, like it's
so much
easier because it tracks everything. And obviously, we're not going to put our cash in there, right? But
I actually do.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But this is my reasoning. So I want to show exactly how much it is that I'm making. So in the future, if I do want to buy a home or invest in something, like, I think that's the way to go. Because I'm thinking more about the future, and I want it to show actually what I'm making, not what I'm,
So that is I've never talked about this on my podcast, but I think that's such a good way, because when I bought my home, and I bought my home this year, they look at your net,
everything,
not your gross. And what your net is how much you're bringing home, not necessarily how much you're making. So for example, if I made, I don't know, 300,000 that month or that year, and I didn't take home that 300,000, I took home 120,000. That 120,000 is going to tell me if I can afford this home or this home. And this home.
And cash could be a huge chunk.
Yes.
So that's just my
100%.
Rational way of thinking. Yeah.
And I do agree with that if a person is trying to buy, invest, or whatever the thing is. But
eventually down the line,
Yeah. But then you also have to think about how much does it go back to Uncle Stan? Is that what they call it? Uncle Stan?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how much do you have to pay for the taxes? You get me?
Yes, definitely. Well, I definitely could be better about that whole thing. I wish I could be a Lady Peng, but I'm just not.
Oh, I love her.
I love her. She is a badass, honestly. She really is.
You know what? When's the last time I spoke to her? I spoke to her, like a month ago? But I love her because I honestly, and she knows, I didn't even know who she was. And Lady Peng hits me up and says, hey, I'm going to be on your podcast. That's it. Amazing. And I was kind of like, okay. And from there, we became friends, and she flew out here from Oregon.
Amazing.
And we became such good friends until this day. Like, she teaches me a lot, and I teach her about podcasting and stuff like that. But she teaches me so much about this type of stuff.
Yes. And that's really important. And I think she's just very inspirational. And I like that she is just so matter of fact with things, super educational. I feel like when I saw one of her videos, I was like sold, because I haven't seen any esthetician run their Instagram page the way she does and have all that educational knowledge about finances and investing and all that. So it definitely inspired me. But I definitely have always had an accountant from the beginning. So he is kind of like, I would say, a bookkeeper, financial advisor, accountant in one. I got really lucky because it was one of my personal training clients' husbands. And so she referred me to him. And I'm just lucky that he does everything for me. But do I know? Am I knowledgeable about all that stuff? No, I just organize everything for him and like give him my stuff. And I'm like,
your stuff.
You take care of all of this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to do that myself. But I do think it's important for me to have education on that. So
soon to come, you're about to see on her Instagram with her mic. And I just love how she sits in front of her mic and she's just talking. I love it. You know what one of my favorite videos was? And it's like, come with me. Or no, it was like, how fast can I do this wax? And then you put the timer in front of the camera. And then it was like literally like 10 minutes and 7 seconds, right? And I think that's, I don't know, I'm about to copy that.
You should. Sorry. It's fun.
I'm about to recreate that. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. Like,
just put your camera up, literally. Again, don't overcomplicate it. You just put the camera up, and you sometimes, literally, it's just you and your client talking. It could be like a snippet of you guys talking, like a funny conversation, anything.
And you know what? Every time I recreate someone's video, I always give a shout out or say, because you have. And I think this is so important that anytime someone recreates or does something inspired by you, you always have to give that person like a, hey, this is who I was inspired by.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's good to give that person their credit.
I agree. But also, I think there's a lot of people who think that people are copying them, but they're not. Like, if you're in Brazilian waxing, it's such a niche, specialty that we're going to have the same ideas.
Oh my God, that's so freaking true.
Like, we're going to have the same ideas. Like, there's estheticians I follow or have followed that they literally made a video that I was thinking about. Like, for example, Lavish Wax.
Oh.
You know Lavish Wax?
Yes.
I don't even know her name. I just know her by her Instagram name.
Yeah.
But she's really sweet. I love her. She's actually hilarious. And she made a video a couple months ago about like when your client arrives and you just had your coffee and you have to take like a massive shit. It was like something like that.
Oh my God,
and I have it in my drafts and I was like, damn it. I can't create it because she already did.
I've seen that.
But like that's a lot, like that's pretty creative, and there's other people who are thinking as creatively as you. And sometimes it's more generic, like Brazilian waxing posts, but just because someone has the same content, it doesn't mean they're copying you. You know?
And also too, like, you can make it your own way. It doesn't necessarily have to be like identically the way the person had it. Like,
not saying it doesn't happen. I'm sure people do copy, but like, yes, give credit when it's due, but also like not everyone's copying you. It's fine, guys.
Yeah, and I feel like that's so true. I wanted to post this video, and I went on my fucking Instagram, and I was like, I showed it to my assistant. I said, "Dude, no, look."
He's like, "No,"
and I was like, "I wanted to." And it has like 500 likes, and I'm like, "No, like I wanted to do this." Yes, or and you're right, because it's not necessarily copying, because in a way, it's like, how many reels do you see of the same sound doing the same thing?
Of course,
over and over and over again. So it's like they have that sound for a reason, for people to recreate shit, right?
Yeah, and we also subconsciously pick up on like a lot of people's like reels and also come up with stuff too. We all get inspiration from each other, do it in our own ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you on TikTok?
I am, yeah. But I'm not as... Okay, so everything I post on my Instagram, I post on TikTok. But recently I'm trying to post more organic, random, silly content on there. Still regarding my aesthetic stuff. But I do think I could be a little better about it. Because I know TikTok is also where it's at. But it's difficult to do both. And sometimes I just post the same thing on both accounts. But
it's hard. Like, you're going to post this and then you're going to post this one. Like, I had to, like, a person that's going to post on Instagram has to post a whole different video for TikTok.
Yeah.
I get it.
But I can't be hypocritical because, like I said, you have to just post whatever. And I've been doing that on TikTok. Sometimes I just post like silly videos and post my Instagram educational ones. And on TikTok, the demographic is a little different. And the types of content that do better is a little different than Instagram too. And a lot of the, just talking on the camera, super chill, organic, taking you through my day, or some relatable esthetician kind of related content does better on TikTok versus the more curated, educational, talking on the mic with high quality camera does really good on Instagram.
Yeah. So let's get to the tea though.
Yeah.
Are you getting paid for these videos? So it's just because, you can get paid for like Instagram videos and, I feel like a person that puts in their whole... I don't know. For example, I would pay you if I seen you on Instagram, I'd be like, this girl, right? Marlo, you'd be like, fuck yeah, I heard your content's getting...
So any video that I get paid for always has like a paid promotion on there. So I'm very transparent about that. And I think you have to legally do that, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure if a brand is paying you...
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Yeah, you have to. I always do because I thought you have to. But when I work with Fur or Bush Balm and it's a video that I'm promoting, they always ask to put the paid promotion on. And we just always do that because it is a paid promotion. But any other video, I do like the waxness ones, wax reviews, random other videos you see me post is just organic content, like for fun.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, do we do that? He handles it all.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Can I even disclose that? Like that I have to put paid promotion on? Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's everywhere, right, Marlo?
Yeah. We're doing the right thing.
Yeah, we're not trying to get sued, okay?
Yes, we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
No, everything is really transparent. I do have my discount code for Waxness, which I always post about, but I genuinely use Waxness Russian Pearl all the time. And any wax that I like to use, I'm going to promote the heck out of it because I love their product. So that's why I have a discount
Waxness.
code.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing. I love their products.
I use Russian Pearl too.
Yeah, it's really good.
And what's the other one? It's a blue one. It's Royal Crystal.
Royal Crystal is good too. My favorite is Russian Pearl, number 1.
Oh, I have that one on deck all the time. 20 pounds.
It's the best. The best. And then they recently came out with Tahitian Coral, which is really good as well.
Girl, look at my wax pot right now.
Is it the same?
Yes.
See, I'm not playing. And then the third is white chocolate, which I used to love using a lot because it takes up the smallest hairs, but it's really thick and creamy.
I don't.
You waste a lot of wax.
And that's why.
Yeah.
and that's why I stopped using it. But I really did. I really tried, and I do like it. I feel like a lot of waxes are good.
They are, yeah.
But I have my favorites. But if you look at my wax palette right now, it's literally what you just said.
Yeah.
I'm trying Bush Balm right now. Let's talk about that.
Bush Balm. Bush Balm wax is also really good.
Yeah.
Even though they did pay me to make, I think, 2 videos for them for the wax, I actually genuinely do like it. And I think they did a really good job for their first formulation. And I'm not just saying that because they paid me. I actually think so.
We had Kimberly on here too.
Yeah.
Do you know who she is?
Yeah, I love Kimberly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the best. We actually did like a Q&A, a live Q&A a couple years ago, but she's also in the Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the best.
How far is she from you?
Like 20 minutes? Super close. Yeah, like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But she's actually the one that inspired me to get into Brazilian waxing because I have another friend in the industry. Her name is Evelyn and her Instagram is Lumvina. And she was getting waxed by Kimberly. And I was following Lumvina because she was doing extensions. And that's when I was kind of getting into extensions.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. A girl who in the Valley who does Brazilian waxing. And I just love the way she like created her content. I feel like she inspired me to have that. Like, why not make Brazilian waxing your niche, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love her.
Shout out to she's her. The best.
She was here and she was just a vibe.
She is.
I love
she's
her.
She's a vibe.
She actually, I don't know if it was her. Was it her? Yeah. It was her that got me into like the vajacial stickers.
Yes.
Or the vajazzles.
Yeah, the vajazzles. Ari wax. Oh my god.
Ari Waxing Lounge.
Yes, Ari
That's
Waxing Lounge.
Yes.
Is also who I feel like was really inspirational to me as well. And she also got me on the vajazzles too. I just love her personality, her aura,
she's
everything.
So sweet.
Yeah, she's so sweet.
Shout out to all these.
Yes.
See, you know what? Yes, the industry could be fucking brutal, but if you know the ones you know,
yeah,
there's some that are really cool.
What makes you say that it's brutal?
You know what? Because shout out to Casey. It's just, I said this on the last one. It was more like they're very, how do I say this without being fucked up?
Say it.
I know, right? Like fucking just say it, but I'm about to get fucking canceled. They're just really stuck up, you know? This industry is really like
that comes from insecurity.
Yeah, you know, and I feel like,
and you can't take it personally, you know?
And you know what? I just feel like they're very like oh, I have this amount of followers, like I have this amount of followers, I have this amount of bookings, so I can act this way because I'm like fully booked and like I'm like.
But do people act that way? Because I've never seen a real life example of that, and I don't know anyone in private to see that. So I'm still kind of a baby esthetician. I've only been in the industry for 4 years.
I didn't even ask you that.
Yeah, for 4 years, which I don't think is a long time at all. And I haven't ever seen an example of someone who's really good at what they do, who has a lot of followers, but is stuck up in person, because I haven't really met people in person. I'm not going to judge someone based off of what I see off their social media. So I personally haven't had an experience like that. And I do also think there could be people that are really successful on social media, but also still be really good at their job. And I think people sometimes see a following and they think that someone may be stuck up.
You know what? They say that's so true because I have a very, because you haven't been in the industry for a long time. And me either. I think, how long have I been in the industry? Well, 19, 20, 23, 4. What are we? 21? Yeah. Almost 7 years.
I think long time is like 10 plus years.
Yeah. And I feel like from when I started, yes, I haven't been in this industry for a long time, but from when I really started, I did it because I loved, and I still love what I do. But I feel like now it's just so much goes into what you do. Like, for example, if I just do facials, right? Like in the beginning, I did it because I loved it and I didn't put a camera in front of me. I just did it, and it was just that one-on-one with the client, and I loved that. Now I feel like I have to put on a whole fucking show, and I have to set up a camera, I have to record everything, I have to post it. And I feel like now that a lot of people are doing that now, Casey mentioned it, are you doing it because you want to be famous, or are you doing it because you love it? And I feel like a lot of people are doing it because they want to be this content creator, and because they just want to get famous, right? So it gets to their head. And I have seen a lot of people, them grow their social media and then start slacking at what they're putting with their client, their loving client, you know? So this industry. Is
this like, because I want other estheticians maybe seeing this or listening to this to kind of think about it. Like, are you saying that about estheticians you've never met in person, or what you're perceiving? Like, I feel like you could only say that if you know that person in real life. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just assume just because, for example, for me, like I love posting like good quality videos, educational videos, but I feel like it's kind of apparent that I do love my job, and it's not because I'm trying to be famous. Like, I have a lot of love for my clients, but I don't think someone could just go to my page and judge me and be like, oh, she just wants to be an influencer.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know
to be
me.
like a content creator.
Yeah,
right?
like, you don't know me or my clients, you know?
I think from personal experiences, and I think because I know the people that I've, you know, seen and I've interacted.
Yeah.
And also because I've met the person with the highest following, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I met them, and then I would think that they were this person that they claim to be on social media, and I meet them, and I'm like,
no. Yeah.
Oh my God, what the fuck was that? You know, I'm like, oh, like totally, this person is like not how they perceived how they were on social media. Like they perceive that they're this kind, loving, you know, I don't know, type of person. And then I meet them, I'm just like, wow, even with famous people.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I met, okay, oh my gosh, can you put this fucking out, Marlo? Yeah. I met, and she was my idol. Loved her. I cried at her. I went to 2 concerts of her, and I met her and I cried.
That's the worst. That's like heartbreaking. And
I walked away and I was so heartbroken. And I was like, oh my God, like, it's like, you're not this person that you perceive to be.
Yeah.
And I completely unfollowed her and I fucking hate this bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, oh, like I loved her so much, you know?
But you're right. I think I've never had that experience firsthand with anyone in the beauty industry per se.
Yeah.
Truly everyone that I've ever met in person or talked to through DM, I feel like has been super genuine and truly how they have perceived themselves on social media.
Or how about how about a person that's like, I don't know if you've ever run into either, but like where they're like, they don't treat you the same because you don't have the amount of followers that they do.
No, I've never had that.
No,
I've never had that. I truly haven't met that many people in the industry in person before. And I don't know if they're nice to me because they feel like I'm like that or because I have a following, so they want to just be nice to me, you know? But everyone I've met in the beauty industry has been super genuine. Like, I don't have beef with anyone in the industry. I don't even know how that happens. Like,
I don't know how that I don't know how that happens.
Like, I love all of you guys because you guys are like in my field. So like, why wouldn't I want other people to also do better?
You know what? I've never had beef in the industry. I don't know what. I feel like you would live in your own world and I live in my own world.
Yeah, exactly. Like you shouldn't have time if you're like focused on yourself.
But
like,
you know what? Yeah, I've never been in the industry, but I'm talking about like this industry as in like when I go to trade shows, and I've said this so many times, like I go to the esthetician side and it's bland. I go to the cosmetology side. Have you been to a trade show before?
I have, yeah, Long Beach.
And it's so fun and
so fun, yeah.
Colorful and just out. And I go to the esthetician side and it's just like sad and relaxing, which I guess that's the difference. But I'm just like,
not the bleaching people.
Oh, I love Bright.
Yeah.
They were Bright. I love them.
Yeah, that was fun.
I love going to their booth.
Yes.
Just because
I love the way they market themselves.
The men, shirtless. Come on.
That's hilarious.
But again, like, you know, I just feel like the interactions that I've gotten there. But in the faces, I remember, oh my God, I went to Vegas. I go to every trade show. So we recorded in Vegas and I went this year. And I wanted to record this person so bad. I'm not going to say who it was. And I wanted to interview this person so bad. And it was on my list of going through people. And I went up to this person and I was really sad. Because I was like,
it wasn't what you expected.
No.
So, you know how earlier you were saying when someone has a big following, it like gets to their head. And I said it's insecurity.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what that is?
Maybe.
Because I don't know. Like if you know you have it like that or whatever, and you feel like you have a lot of followers and you're really good at what you do because your work obviously showcases that, people love your content, they eat it up and stuff, why would you act that way?
True.
Why would you not be a good person? I don't know. Right? Like, why would you act stuck up? I feel like that usually shows that you're trying to like hide some kind of insecurity that you feel.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is the reason? I want to know.
Like, you know,
just
she has
genuine
the best
questions.
content and she's the sweetest person ever. So I don't know why you bitches act like this if you guys do act like that. But everyone I'm telling you, so before we even filmed, everyone I've had so far I've met on this podcast has been so good. I've had no complaints.
Yeah.
Literally, they've been
I'm just happy I'm here.
Oh.
Literally, like, this is awesome. This is a great opportunity.
I messaged her. When did I message you?
I think it was like a couple weeks ago.
And she was like, yes. And I was like, this is the time we record. She's like, okay.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm on my way right now.
Literally. And I was like, okay. And then I was telling my manager, I was like, we have someone coming. And she was like, oh, okay. And then he's like, how far? I was like, I don't know where this place is at. Because when you were like, I asked you when you were going to be in like in this area. You're like, I actually live here. And I was like,
well, I thought you like actually meant like LA, but I feel like this is a little further for sure.
It is, but people don't know that live far because we've had people that fly out for us.
Yeah.
And they don't know this city.
Rancho Cucamonga, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, we're not, but we're close.
We're very close, yeah. It's not that far from LA at all. Yeah. But from the San Fernando Valley, it's like...
Yeah, that is a little farther.
It is, but traffic is what made it a mission. But it's not that bad. This is a great experience, and I'm happy to just be talking to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but we're going to wrap this motherfucker up, and she's going to be here next season, you guys. I promise.
Next season.
I want you back because I want to know, what are your goals? Like, what's something we expect from you before we leave?
Peace and happiness.
Oh, I love that.
Clarity, calm.
I love that. You're such like a I could just tell that. Did you do sage?
Yes. I like Palo Santo better though.
Oh, I love Palo Santo. Do you have incense at your house?
No, because I'm not a fan of super artificial fragrance, which is why I freshen up my room and also just sage with Palo Santo or with sage because I feel like artificial fragrance makes me a little sensitive. Like I get watery-eyed. I might have like some slight allergy to it.
You should, when you leave right now, I'm about to show you how much Palo Santo I have here.
Amazing. Because it really does mask every smell. Yeah.
It really
and it's not bad for your health. So.
I love it. And I just love do you get Reiki's done? This is a whole nother topic.
Yeah, I haven't had any Reiki's done, no. But I do like getting acupuncture done. I do yin yoga on YouTube for free. I highly recommend. Just literally put in yin yoga on YouTube and it'll change your life. Yeah. It's really relaxing. It's a meditative form of yoga where you hold the poses for like 2 to 5 minutes, sometimes longer. Mm-hmm. And you're just, focusing on your breathing. So it's like a meditation movement and it's amazing and it's free. So that really grounds me. I also love working out as well. I like to sleep early, wake up early. I like to eat healthy. So I do definitely like all that stuff because if I don't do it, I'm not well.
She's just not all there.
I'm just not all there.
We're friends.
No exaggeration.
Literally, because everything you said, if you know who I am, literally, if you know me, I love all that stuff.
Me too.
And I just love to have an agenda for myself. And I love to make sure that I'm waking up. I wake up at a good time to do so much stuff during the day and to get a lot of stuff done. Because if I don't, I'm just going to drive myself nuts. And I don't know. I'm weird.
No, you have to.
I have to have
you have to have a routine. It's really important. Doesn't matter what it is, just have a routine.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Well, we always end this podcast with a quote. So go ahead and tell us something that you stand by.
I don't know if it's a quote. Anything. Go work out. It's going to change. It's going to change your life. And I'm not saying this in a vain way or because you need to lose weight or anything. It's nothing that has to do with that. But if you can just be disciplined enough to give something back to yourself and lift weights, it's going to change your life. You don't even have to lift weights. You can go dancing. You can take a twerking class. You can do yoga. You can do pole dancing, Pilates, whatever it is. But move your body and you're going to feel so much better mentally. It's about here.
I love that.
Yeah.
Simple. I need
practical.
Working out. I had a baby, okay?
That's okay. Take time to recover. It's been like 2 weeks.
Literally.
Yes. You don't have to be in the gym. Another thing. You don't have to work out 7 days a week, starve yourself.
Yeah.
Like you have to nourish yourself, eat healthy. Be kind to yourself first and foremost and just do what you can every week.
Because they say
because it adds up to a lot over time.
Yeah. When you feel good and you look good, you are good.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I stand by that too.
You
inspired me to go work out in like 2 more weeks.
When you're healed.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the next season.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.